Hey, welcome Starseeds. It's Robin here. This is my channel Oracle Rising, and I wanted to talk about keeping your vibration really clean as a starseed and give you some techniques to continue on your path with a really open heart, because there's just everything is a bit of a nightmare right now, right? If you're watching the news, like, please try to shut it off. So if you are not sure what a starseed is, you guys, I'm not going to go into great length about that here because I've discussed it many times. I have a video folder. It's called Starseeds, so you might want to check that out if you think that you're a starseed. There's also a couple of starseed quizzes that you can take. Just, punch that into a web browser and find out if you're a starseed. You could be seeing people talk about it, like just whatever. You could be really drawn to it and have an inclination that you're a starseed. So anyway, we've got a lot of heavy energies here right now, so I really wanted to implore you guys to continue on your path in your highest ability of light. And I'm going to give you some techniques to do that, because we all need some help getting through, okay, on our mission as a starseed. So I'm having a really hard time right now too. I've got some things going on in my personal life that are really heavy. And also, like, people talk about things, unfortunately, I still have a job in the 3D matrix. So I do have to go and be around energies that are very difficult. You guys can let me know in the comments if you have additional strategies that I don't cover, and let me know if you're doing okay. Because one of the things about starseeds is that we're strategically planted all over the world, and it's very rare that we get to meet one in person. If you're lucky, you'll have a connection with somebody that is at a distance from you and you can lean on each other, but then there's always me too, okay? So I really want to stress the importance of using starseed meditations for you, to really just be able to keep your energy up, because when you're constantly healing other people, and just your whole presence and your aura is enough to do that, okay? But who is taking care of you? Honestly, you guys, I saw this, I watch reels on Instagram sometimes just to pass the time and just, for a good laugh. And I saw this one that almost made me start crying. And it was like this really big, strong guy, and somebody asked him, like, who do you take care of? And he said, everybody. And then somebody asked him, like, who takes care of you? And he just kind of sat there. And I really felt that super deeply, because I feel like that in my own life, right? Because I do a lot for other people. I'm not complaining, but it just gave me this moment of realization that sometimes I don't feel like anybody is taking care of me, okay? So let's try to take care of ourselves as a starseed family so that we can remain strong and guide our planet into higher vibrations and higher dimensions, okay? So everything from the 3D matrix will fall apart, and we won't have to deal with whatever is going on out there that is super unpleasant, okay? So one of the number one things that I want to recommend for you guys is to find a really good starseed meditation. I always recommend Steve Nobel, and there's a reason for that, is because I found his transmissions and meditations incredibly healing and incredibly beneficial, okay? So you don't have to follow him, but if you're not into meditations, maybe just look for an Arcturian healing chamber meditation or transmission from whoever. It could even just be music, and it's very refreshing. You'll probably feel incredibly renewed after that and stronger, okay? So, and you could even read the comments and see that there's other starseeds out there, okay? So connecting with your starseed guide. Again, I used a Steve Nobel meditation to do that, and I was presented with my starseed guide. I was very blessed a couple years ago, and they were just like really, really huge energy. Something that I didn't write down, but I wanted to talk about because it just popped into my head, is to identify your star origin, and then get a picture or look at that star. There was a moment in oh, what movie? I can't remember, but they did a slingshot around the star Arcturus. And that moment where they did that, I was just in awe. So you can always find footage of the star that you originated from. And it's going to give you a lot of energy and a lot of peace, because one of the things about star seeds is that we don't feel at home where we are, you know, and there's a reason for that. And if you can sort of link yourself to your origins, it's really going to help you. Something else that I became aware of a little while ago, and it's funny how things just sort of accumulate on your path. You know, you could hear a mention of something and go, okay, well, maybe that would be something that would work for me. So there's something called cities of light. Okay, so my friend Tushar told me about this group of 40, and they talk about cities of light. And this is hard information to find, you guys, because it gets deleted. You know, I did a search for the list. I was reading it about a year ago. I did a search online and I couldn't find it. Okay, so this stuff is getting removed. So it's like to keep the vibration down. It's to keep star seeds from rising up and feeling whole and feeling like we can, you know, move on our healing journey. But maybe you could look up the group of 40. I think they're on Facebook. I'm not 100% sure, but there are designated cities of light that also have sister cities out in the, you know, in the galaxy, right? So apparently the city that I live in is designated as a city of light, and how that is possible, I don't know. I just don't get it. You know, I've never met another starseed here, and I've lived here for way too long. Like it's a dirty, ugly, dangerous city. So how it was designated as a city of light is just absolutely mind-blowing to me, because whatever. But I have seen Starship Athena here. You know, when I go out and WALK Lacey and it's dark out in the morning, I've seen Athena multiple times. So I don't know, it just, you know, it just freaks me out. But I imagined a city of light would be a lot more peaceful and possibly cleaner. Maybe this city has been removed from the list. I don't know. I'm going to try to look it up again after this reading. So something that is going to be really helpful for you too, and this applies to whoever it is, okay? Eliminate toxic people from your life. Okay, because you're going to attract in a lot of people in need of healing. And you could have been born into a toxic family as well. So it sounds really harsh, but you might at some point have to cut off people that you are born into blood with, you know? And it could be part of your starseed journey to cut ties with them, you know, to make yourself stronger. And then that's a very difficult thing to do, because people around you that are stuck in the matrix that don't understand, you're going to be judged for it. Okay, so it's very, very tricky to eliminate toxic people, especially if you're related by blood. You know, you just have to really be ruthless about protecting your energy. And honestly, there's people in my family that I will never speak to again in my life, and I don't feel bad about it anymore. And if people have an opinion to it, they are very welcome to keep it to themselves, okay? Healing others from a distance, you guys. Okay, so we are here as healers. Okay, so we're bringing in a lot of toxic people that are in need of healing. That could be why you're born into a toxic family, to try to heal them. But if people are not ready to heal, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do at all. Okay, so healing people from a distance, like especially if you're taking that on as, you know, your starseed mission as a career, you're earning your revenue from it. You might not necessarily want to get close to people, because it's kind of like trying to rescue a drowning person. If you've ever seen footage of that, or if you've ever seen it in person, I took like life-saving, you know, my dad was a lifeguard for a long time. People that are drowning, will sometimes try to, not on purpose, but because their mind is just so overwhelmed, they'll try to take down the person that is saving them. It might be really hard to watch, but you might want to look it up on YouTube if there's anything that shows how somebody that is a rescuer going to help somebody that is in the water in danger and what happens. And it's awful to watch. Okay. But anyway, you don't have to watch that. But healing people is kind of like the same thing, because you go in to try and help them and they'll just sort of suck the life out of you, especially if you're in person. Okay, so if you are doing healing, you can do your Reiki, you can do your energy code, you can do your body code from a distance. You can keep your sessions very limited with extremely toxic people or very damaged people until they start to heal a little bit more. And maybe you could do an in-person or whatever, but it's okay to do your work from a distance, you guys. You don't have to be in the same room, okay? You don't even have to be in the same city, so that can really open up your parameters if you're trying to earn a living doing any sort of healing. Connecting with other starseeds, guys, that can be very challenging. I meet quite a number of you just through the channel, right? And actually on my other channel, Aries Fire Tarot, I've met a couple of people that are starseeds that I am now connected with, that I'm friends on social media, or we're connected on Twitter, you know, and it's very nice. And I love when you guys come in and you tell me what kind of starseed you are, because it just really warms my heart. I'm like a little kid. I'm like, yay, another one, yay. So, I mean, and these connections are not anything to be taken like minimally, because just having that awareness is that other spark, you know, my starseed family is out there, and now I know their name. It's really a nice sort of homey feeling. You don't feel so alone. And the last thing I have here is for you guys to spend time by water. Okay, if there's any way that you can live by water, or if you already do, it's such a healing source. Okay, so if you're not able to live by water, you know, have a really nice long bath, or listen to the sounds of water, meditate to water, you know, do whatever you can, drink lots of water. Okay, but honestly, nothing in the world calms me, relaxes me, centers and grounds me more than listening to the ocean. So that is my goal, is to do that. Like I have a picture of my home by the ocean, and I'm not giving up until I get there. Even if this is a city of light, I've got to find another one. It's just, wow. I was like, my mind was blown when I read that list. I was like, this must be a mistake. They've obviously never been here. But anyway, guys, those are my tips for you guys as starseeds, to really take care of yourself. It's not selfish. It is mandatory. I just saw angel number 333 roll by. So guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll see you around the way. Okay, take care. Bye.